You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
This week on Sci-Fi Buzz, a tour of haunted Hollywood. The man who learned everything he needs to know from Star Trek. Harlan Ellison salutes one of the greatest science fiction and fantasy artists. Plus, Terminator and Aliens director James Cameron wants fans of his sci-fi films to join him on the Titanic.
Iceberg, right ahead!
Prepare.
Stand by.
The Buzz.
Movies. Personalities.
Sci-Fi.
FX.
Behind the scenes.
Cutting edge.
Get ready.
Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi Buzz.
Mike Jarek here with the Buzz from the kingdoms of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. I've done the math for you folks this week. James Cameron's Titanic cost $200 million to make. Well, the staff says that's not the most expensive movie ever made. You got to go back to 1963, and Cleopatra, in today's money, would cost $230 million to make. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm talking about Titanic, because it's not a sci-fi movie. Well, James Cameron told me that you sci-fi fans would be interested to know that when he approached the making of Titanic, he approached it like science fiction.
Come on! Oh, come on!
I approached the film almost like a science fiction film in a way. I'm used to creating these very detailed futuristic worlds or you know, otherworldly environments, and I just approached history the same way, looking for the things that connect us to that time in the same way that you would find the things that connect us to a future place.
Having earned his towering reputation directing techno-thrillers like Aliens, Terminator, Terminator 2, and The Abyss, James Cameron wants to reassure his sci-fi audience that he hasn't abandoned them with Titanic. In fact, even though the story unfolds in 1912, Cameron says the film bears a strong resemblance to his futuristic epics.
The truck drivers in space motif or the grunts in space motif of Aliens, you know, is just a way of finding universalities in human behavior and connecting it back to you know, the world that we know. I sort of did the same approach in Titanic and looked for the same connections, you know, in human behavior.
For God's sake, there's women and children down here! Let us out so we can have a chance!
While Titanic could not be described as a techno-thriller, it definitely is techno. As in Cameron's science fiction films, an assortment of state-of-the-art special effects techniques were used to create spectacular visuals.
This is it! Hold on!
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I think an audience that knows my films would feel robbed if they didn't really get to see the ship sink in a big, spectacular way.
Cameron's own effects studio, Digital Domain, relaunched the legendary liner through a combination of miniature and computer effects. Here, digital compositing put computer-generated people on the deck of a 44-foot model. Those elements were then combined with background and foreground shots. As always, Cameron deeply involved himself in the special effects, working closely with visual effects supervisor Rob Legato.
Really right from the get-go, from the pre-visualization phase, you know, it was long hours of Rob and myself standing around this big model of Titanic, sort of pulling on our chins and acting like we knew what we were doing, you know, figuring out what the shots would be.
It's the wrong way! Come back!
The dramatic demise of the Titanic was achieved, to a great extent, through mechanical effects on a massive scale. Interior sets were submerged on a hydraulic platform in a 30-foot deep indoor tank, while a nearly full-size exterior recreation of the ship was sunk in a 17-million-gallon outdoor tank. The sinking of the huge mock-up proved to be the scariest part of filming.
When you're sinking a million-pound set 3 stories down into cold seawater, there, you know, with you know, maybe 1,000 amps of electricity going into that set and lighting it up. And in theory, it's all shielded, and they're all submersible lights, and they have trips that can you know, circuit breakers that'll kick out if there's a short anywhere. But you're always afraid somebody's, you know, going to get hurt electrically or just, you know, sucked under the set or something like that.
Titanic resembles Cameron's sci-fi films in more ways than just being an effects extravaganza. The director asserts that the film's main theme is the same as in all his other films: technology gone awry. And while Titanic is, at its core, a love story, Cameron says that applies to every picture he's made. Whether it's Titanic or Terminator, the message is love is the most important thing.
I've been saying that in all my films, you know, in Abyss, especially in the special edition, it's a more focused message. You know, essentially love and the ability to commit and sacrifice oneself in that kind of relationship ultimately saves the world.
Next, Harlan Ellison sings praises of legendary illustrator James Bama.
They're dynamite. They're just gorgeous.
And a trip to the macabre side of the movie capital.
This Sci-Fi Channel program is brought to you by Old Spice. Cool, crisp, clean. It's all in how you use it.
It's all in how you use it.
When my son David has a cold, he's powerless. So when he's all congested, I know it does the trick. Robitussin Cold. It has the power to make even the worst cold symptoms. Well, you know.
Robitussin Cold, recommended by Dr. Mom, Copperfield.
Attention, shoppers. Kit Kat break time.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. I want to take a break with that Kit Kat bar. Touch me in the morning.
Relax with the romantic moods of Body Talk, the sensuous collection from Time Life Music.
And I think we can make it one more time.
Body Talk, only $14.99 for 2 cassettes, just $16.99 for 2 compact discs.
3 times a lady. Do that to me one more time.
Then enjoy other great Body Talk albums. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime.
I don't know much, but I know
Body Talk. Call now.
To order Body Talk, call 1-800-946-6688 or send $14.99 for 2 cassettes or $16.99 for 2 CDs, plus $3.95 shipping to this address.
Now that you have your Christmas shopping done, hopefully, Jason is here from the Buzz staff to tell you where you can get that calendar. Very important. We all have our new calendar for 1998.
Preparing for the new year.
And I normally get mine from the plumbing supply place down the street.
About 6 months late, too. You get
exactly.
them in June at a half-off sale. Well, we got these for when you're planning ahead for next year. A whole bunch of different really cool calendars. We have the Hammer Horror Calendar, which has the posters from a lot of the old Hammer horror movies. Some really in-depth, nice art in that calendar right there. Next after that, this one I'm really a personal fan of, the Star Wars Classic Characters Calendar. Inside, you can see that they take the characters of Star Wars from the concept and the sketches all the way through the process of the concept art to the final character, with different aliens and robots and all kinds of really cool stuff. If you're a Star Wars fan or if you know a Star Wars fan, for New Year's, this is a must-have.
That's nicely done.
Magic the Gathering has a lot of really nice fantasy art. It's this year's fantasy art pick for art calendars. There's a bunch of different artists that have done some really nice pictures, all fully painted, all kinds of nice stuff, and all the holidays are marked, you know, just like any calendar, I suppose.
There you go. That's really important in a calendar, isn't it?
Boxing Day in Canada is real hot this year. Comes from, there's a Batman collected book, and this is the calendar of that book with a whole lot of really nice Batman collectibles. Every month is a new set of collectibles from a new era in Batman history, up from the 40s up to the present. This one's kind of a weird one that we just threw in because it was kind of fun. It's the Year in Space. These people just kind of made these parody space posters and made them into calendars. There's different, like, monster ones and, Yeah, exactly. It's like a play on Metropolis. There's one that's almost like a Godzilla movie, all through the different eras of sci-fi. Just weird, kind of offbeat stuff. It's kind of fun. This one's real fun to pick up. The UFOs and the Unexplained 1998 calendar. It's day by day. It's alien encounters, including the one with Toad Jam on Route 66, which it started raining and hailing, and frogs fell from the sky. And there was it talks about the crunching sound the tires make as they drove over the frogs.
Sounds like a Bud commercial. Okay, and Star Wars has that same idea?
Star Wars is the same idea, except it's day by day, shot by shot, through the entire Star Wars saga. And on weekends, you get color.
Oh, there's one.
There's a weekend right there, Saturday and Sunday. You get color. The rest of them, it's shot by shot through the entire, all 3 Star Wars movies, from the beginning to the end.
That's perfect for a Star Wars fan, right?
Exactly.
There. And one last X-Files here.
The X-Files has some really cool X-Files art that kind of matches their show opening kind of stuff. It's real eerie looking kind of mood art, as opposed to, you know, just a big picture of someone.
Can you hum the X-Files theme?
I sound more like Chewbacca when I do it.
We need to get him to that.
Superheroes top this week's Buzz News.
Who are you? Hercules. Heard of me?
Television megaman Kevin Sorbo is going to miss filming several episodes of his hit series Hercules. Sorbo's absence is due to an aneurysm in his shoulder, which is taking longer to heal than expected. While they await their star's recovery, the show's producers plan to shoot a few episodes without their leading man, including one in which co-stars Bruce Campbell and Michael Hurst appear in drag. Get well soon, Kevin.
It's great, man. I'm just really excited about this movie. Am I babbling?
Movie star Will Smith has just signed to play a new superhero known as The Mark. Noted comic book creator Rob Liefeld has written the screenplay. Best known for comics like Evangeline and Bad Rock, Liefeld wrote The Mark specifically for the screen. The novice screenwriter will receive up to $2 million for the script. And that's the latest buzz.
Much of Hollywood's social history, unfortunately, has to do with great tragedies, tragic deaths, untimely deaths, unsolved murders, and there were always ghost stories attached to those kinds of stories.
Writer Laurie Jacobson began investigating tales of spirited showbiz spirits after spotting one behind the stage of the famed Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard.
I found out it's a ghost named Fritz. Fritz, a former employee, an unhappy person, killed himself in the theater, haunts it to this day. 3 years later, I found out that Fritz hung himself behind the movie screen.
Since Hollywood is Celebrity Central, Jacobson's book, Hollywood Haunted, focuses on the hangouts of exalted apparitions.
I think one of the earliest celebrities who is still seen to this day, his ghost is racing around Universal Studios, Lon Chaney Sr. He was the king of the silent screen horror films, and they built a special soundstage for the production of just one of his films, Phantom of the Opera. And to this day, people walk into that soundstage, stage 28. They don't know the history of the stage. Many are too young to know who Lon Chaney was. Yet they come out of there and say, hey, I just saw a guy in a cape running along the catwalks of the stage 28. Who was that? It was Lon.
Jacobson believes ghosts get a bad rap as mean, evil troublemakers whose mission is to haunt those of us who still have a pulse.
Spirits take on the characteristics that they had in life. After all, they were only human. If they were mean, nasty people, the spirit is going to be a mean, nasty spirit. If they were kind, loving people, the spirit will be a gentle spirit.
And given Hollywood's reputation as a land of loose morals, Jacobson says there are some kinky spirits roaming around as well.
Ozzie Nelson, Mr. America, right? He still haunts the soundstage where he shot The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and he haunts his home where he and Harriet lived for more than 25 years, where they raised the boys, David and Ricky. And besides the usual ghostly goings-on there, the ladies who have lived in this house and have quickly moved out have been awakened in the middle of the night by unseen hands pulling back their covers and someone nuzzling at their necks and let me just say that Ozzy has fast hands, okay?
Looks like some Hollywood legends relished fame so much, they've returned for an eternal encore.
This is Ann Shea from State College, Pennsylvania. I've got a great last-minute gift idea for your friends. How about giving them a subscription to Wired magazine? While the mainstream media is still trying to figure out what the digital revolution is, Wired will not only tell you what's up with new technology, it'll help you make some sense out of it. Wired is a hip, slick monthly that will make you think, sometimes make you mad, but always entertain. So if you want to give a gift that your friends will look forward to every month, give them Wired. You can even get subscription info via email, care of subscriptions@wired.com.
While you check out the different ways you can contact the Buzz Board, our very own Harlan Ellison has a recommendation for all of us. He's been leafing through a new gift book. It's by Vincent DeFate. It's entitled Infinite Worlds, Fantastic Visions of Science Fiction Art. Check it out.
The very first science fiction magazine I ever bought was this one. It's dated January 1950, and I bought it, I think, in about November 1949, soon after my father had died. I was in Cleveland. On the way to the dentist, was going to pick up a sport magazine, but I read them all on the newsstand, and I saw this, and I said, whoa! Whoa, Jim, look at this. I mean, could you resist a magazine like this with the woman being held in the arms of Greg, the robot, firing bolts of... I mean, this is hot. And in this book was A.E. Van Vogt and Edmund Hamilton with The Return of Captain Future. There was all kinds of good stuff. And I think it was the science fiction art that first grabbed me. So today, this is our tribute to science fiction artists. Now, Infinite Worlds is the study of science fiction artists as edited by the very fine science fiction artist Vincent DeFate, former president of the Society of Illustrators. This is a wonderful, wonderful book that is filled with terrific art that goes all the way back to the 1920s. I mean, things like Ed Cartier, who was one of the great artists, and yeah, here's the great Frank Kelly Freeze. This is the famous drawing from Martians Go Home, and one of the artists who's in here who is most well taken care of, a guy named James Bama. Now, James Bama, I'm going to put this book down for a second. James Bama has become one of America's most famous Western artists. His stuff is just sensational. Before he got famous with this stuff, Bama did something that science fiction readers all know about. James Bama did the covers for the Bantam reissues of all of the Doc Savage books. He did more than 25 of them. And they're terrific work. They're sensational work. They set the tone for a whole school of fantasy art that was done during this period. Now, Graffiti is issuing the posters. They've made posters of them. They're dynamite. They're just gorgeous. This one's from Pirate of the Pacific. This one is He Could Stop the World. This is Land of Always Night. And there are 15 of them now. They're $29, $29.95, and $3 for postage. And I think it is, in many ways, the thing that grabs us most when we're young and we want to read science fiction are the incredible artists and the incredible artwork that they did. Dash out at your earliest opportunity and get Infinite Worlds, Vincent DeFate's new book. It is the first really good book that has a historical context of all the science fiction artists. And I got to tell you that this stuff, even the stuff that goes back to the 30s, it still holds that sense of wonder that first grabbed us when we were kids. And ain't that what it's all about?
Some people look to the stars for the answers. This man looks to Star Trek when the Buzz reboots.
It isn't every day our government pays a visit to Spring Hill, Tennessee.
You the fellows from Washington?
No, we're welders. But it seems they figured if Saturn could reinvent the way a car company works, we just might have some ideas on how to reinvent the way government works.
Our entire partnership is built on this 33-page booklet.
Really? Come to think of it, if you can inspire people enough to like a car company, well, then maybe anything's possible.
Sure is quiet out here. Cappuccino? cappuccino machine sure makes a racket. Do you have a napkin, honey?
Uh-huh. Down in the basement.
Sugar-free cappuccino, new from Maxwell House.
Hi, Bob Vila here with an exciting new hand tool from Sears. If you're impressed with our Craftsman RoboGrip pliers, wait till you see this. Hey, Jim, how you doing with that table?
Oh, these hex nuts are driving me crazy. My adjustable wrench keeps rounding off the corners, and I don't have box end wrenches for all the different sizes.
Here, try the Craftsman Pocket Socket adjustable box end wrench. With a one-hand adjustment, you can lock onto nuts and bolts of almost any size, metric or standard, from 5/16 to 3/4 of an inch, or 8 to 18 millimeters. The closed box end clamps tight, and heat-treated steel construction makes it durable. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool, made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
For rush delivery of your Craftsman Pocket Socket, get your Sears card or other credit card ready and call 1-800-390-5599. That's 1-800-390-5599. Or send your check or money order for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-390-5599 right now.
The buzz is with you.
Dave Marinaccio is a handsome, seemingly sane, successful 40-something advertising executive. In his book, All I Really Need to Know, I Learned from Watching Star Trek, he declares Star Trek to be his guiding light to personal and professional fulfillment.
People say, Dave, Star Trek was a television show, don't you get it? And you hear this. But if you think about it, it's not the source of knowledge that's important. It's the quality of knowledge. And I think the quality of knowledge in a television show written by Gene Roddenberry is going to be much higher than the quality of knowledge in, say, a book written by Fabio.
Whether he's at a business meeting or a social gathering, Marinaccio finds himself digging into the vast Star Trek resources of his mind in a concerted effort to make the best of any situation. In fact, as a diehard Trekker, he's picked up several essential life lessons.
If this planet is to develop in the way it should, we must equalize both sides again.
I think that the major thing in Star Trek is the Prime Directive. It's the basis of the whole series. And the Prime Directive is a wonderful way not only to treat a planet when you come in your spaceship to that planet, you know, you're going to respect the rights of that society and you're going to respect the people on that society or beings on that society to have a system and let them have their own system, not to interfere. That's a great way to run a personal life. You know, other people are different from you. Other people have the right to live their lives the way they want. The Prime Directive is not only a way to treat other societies, it's a way to treat other people.
Though he holds the entire crew of the Enterprise in high esteem, Marinaccio's admiration for Captain Kirk borders on idol worship.
James Tiberius Kirk, okay? He's moral, he's creative, he's intelligent, he's at the top of his profession, he's well known in his profession, and he's extremely successful with women, okay? There are worse role models than that.
Kiss me.
Believe it or not, when prodded about his own bachelor status, Marinaccio readily points out Kirk's commitment-free success with women.
Well, you ever notice that the only marriage that's really lasted on Star Trek is the marriage between, you know, Kirk and the ship? I mean, O'Brien got married to Keiko and they immediately exiled him to Deep Space Nine.
Okay, so Kirk's a little loose with the ladies. But let's not forget, he's also a hard-nosed, respected boss. Marinaccio firmly believes earthly enterprises could learn a thing or two from the captain's executive instincts.
Direct computer feed to Mr. Spock.
Hi, sir. Kirk is the best manager I've ever seen. He never uses fear or intimidation as a management tool. And that gets him a loyalty. I think people trust him and respect him. He has a foundation of trust in the place he lives. He leads through example. He's the first on a transporter pad. He's the first one down. He shows the people who work for him that their safety is his primary concern.
Marinaccio is thrilled with the positive feedback he's been getting from fans who read his book. But his impossible dream is to receive a response from the late great bird of the galaxy himself, Gene Roddenberry.
The only reason I'm here, the only reason they're all there, is because of Gene Roddenberry, because of Gene Roddenberry's vision. He's obviously a man far ahead of his time, and as well as being just a brilliant television producer. That's who I would like to talk to, Gene Roddenberry, maybe. You know, maybe I'll get the chance 50 years from now.
expensive to live at.
Teddy Gibbs can't let a sore throat stop him, even when it feels this raw. He toughs it out through the hacking cough, the aches, the fever. But when the job is done, he's desperate for relief. Fast, powerful Theraflu relief. With the first sip of that soothing, lemony hot liquid, he feels comfort instantly. Soon, his throat feels calmed, his cough quieted, his chills warmed. Maximum strength Theraflu. Instant comfort. Powerful relief.
I'm Ironhead Hayward. I'm used to challenges, and I challenge you to try Zest Deodorant Body Wash. Now, I hear you snickering.
But Ironhead, aren't body washes for ladies?
Ow! Listen, chump. Zest doesn't have heavy moisturizers.
But Ironhead, what's with this thingy?
That lather builder works with Zest Body Wash to give you twice the fresh-smelling lather of this bar, and it rinses cleaner, so you're cleaner, more refreshed, period.
Zest Body Wash. Get cleaner, more refreshed.
Get zestfully clean.
If you're wondering where to go for the gifts kids want, ask the kids. Gifts kids want. At Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
We've got a taste kids love. And that's why we keep popping up in kitchens across the country. Hungry Jack waffles. We even give you 4 more than the other guys. More crispy waffles with moist, tender insides. So kids get more of the waffles they love. And we keep popping up. Kids want more, we give you more. Hungry Jack waffles.
See the most incredible coming attractions in cinematic history. Trailer Park, only on the Sci-Fi Channel. Coming up next.
How do you stop a killer with 1 billion possible identities? The hidden. How do you save the future when it's already destroyed? Apex. How can you be guaranteed one action-packed night of movies? The Sci-Fi Channel. I want answers, and I want them now. 2 movies, 1 network. The Hidden and Apex. A Sci-Fi Channel double feature. Tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Attention all passengers en route to Rigel 7. Please board shuttle Tuesday at 6.
Well, that's the buzz for this week. Get out there right now and do the rest of your holiday shopping. I finished up, thanks to you, Jason. Remember last week you gave us all those toy tips, sci-fi toy tips? And I was very impressed, especially with the Death Star when it all opened up. You know, I'm going to run out and get that. Remember when you said that inside there were the ashes of Luke's mother and father? Remember that?
I think I said something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of calls about that. Was it really Luke's mother and father?
Oh, what I meant was his mother and father figure. It was Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Okay.
But he grew up really close to them.
So my Christmas gift from you will be a new phone because ours melted in the office from people responding to that comment.
Sorry about that.
It's your job to protect our planet. Here's what you'll need. A really fast car, some high-tech weapons, and a taste for the unexpected. Help Kyle MacLachlan catch The Hidden tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, take a sneak peek at the past. Trailer Park is next on the Sci-Fi Channel. You're on the Sci-Fi Channel.